Here's my latest, the screw starter. It's got a called a gimlet point on it. Nice turning handle. This is made in Germany. The screw starter, the bit point on it is replaceable. You can see it's got a little notch in it to where it fits into the handle holder. It says made in Germany on the shank. I can't make out any kind of name of a manufacturer on this. So I don't know. Maybe when I clean it up we'll find out. Got a nice wood handle, originally in a red that's well worn. I'm sure we'll be able to find a red to match this to get it back to the original color. Something different I haven't had before. It's ratcheting. I'm sorry. You can hear it ratcheting, and then you've got a neutral position, just like any ratchet, where it's going to need a little work, where it's solid, and then a reverse. So, an additional point to it. Okay, we'll be back. While preparing some screw starter for finish, the steel cleanup is pretty straightforward. There's not much to it, and of course we all know how to clean up steel parts. But in the wood handle there was a little brad put in there to help hold the handle in place. Unfortunately, when I went to remove it, I actually removed the head of it, which you can see here. It came off the shank, and the brad was tiny, just a little short, small piece. Also, which left a hole here, and also on each end was a hole. This one has a hole with a series of holes around it, like a pattern. And I wonder, and it was flat, and I wonder if there was a little metal cap on the end at one time. Might have been, but I don't have any such thing and no way to fix that. I'm going to do a little research to see if I can find an original, but there's no name on here. It says made in Germany, and it looks like it meant, say, 3/16, but that didn't come out too well. So that I'll just fill, because this handle, I tried to get the handle off. That's the reason I took the brad out. Tried to get the handle off, maybe to make it easier to refinish it and refinish the metal. But it's solid. It looks like it was glued on there in addition to the little brad nail, which was tiny. If that's all that was holding it, it would not have been much. So I'm going to go, unless I can find an exact match to that little brad nail with the head, I think I'm just going to fill this before painting. And sand real well and clean and fill the ends too. I don't have any type of cap to put on there or anything. I don't know what made those marks. So I'll proceed by just filling and smoothing and make this a solid piece. It's solid anyway, and continue on with the painting. Before I reveal the finished screw starter, let me tell you what I did. I decided to go look for a special red color for this item. I know I've got a lot of reds, but this deserves something special. And when I went to the store to buy the product, guess what I found on the shelf? I mean, the perfect paint. Scout Crafter Red, labeled just large and clear, right there on the shelf, and I said, I've got to have that paint. It's exactly what I need for this project. And here's the finished product with the special Scout Crafter Red paint. We fill these holes on the side that from the screw on the end, where there was a hole with a pattern of holes around it, where there was some sort of end cap on the other end. Basically, I think there was an end cap for maybe tacking on a screw or a nail to start it, a little metal piece, but I'm unable to find out anything. But since the handle was on there solid, and with the paint job, it just looks perfect. Again, it ratchets. You've got your little mechanism to switch the ratcheting. Works smoothly now. And the shank cleaned up. I can find Germany written on here. I find made in Germany written here. And what looks like it might have been a 3 and then a slash and then a 16 below it for 3/16. That's the only identification I can find. No brand name of any kind. But I tell you what, a lot of careful sanding and fine sanding and finishing and filling sure makes your paint job turn out nice. And of course, a great assist from Scout Crafter Red Paint. Let's give this a try and see how it works. Got my junk piece of 2x4 that I'm always working on, testing on. Basically, this has got a gimlet point. And what a gimlet point is, if you can see, this thread goes all the way down to the end. There's a fine thread that goes all the way down to the end of the point. And for wood screws, a gimlet point is made to make first to pull the starter down into the wood, then it leaves a fine thread impression in the wood, a single thread, to start your screw. See, give it a little push into the wood, start turning. And of course, I guess you can hear the ratcheting action. So we've got a nice hole to start the screw, and to switch it to take it back out. If you don't just pull directly, if you unscrew it, then you left a thread impression in your starter hole. And I've got a number 6 drywall screw. That's a number 6 to number 8 type hole it made, so that should work well here. Just bites right into the hole and goes to town. That was quite easy. So that's how it works with the gimlet point. The nice hardware came out finished nice, and of course the paint job. So there's my restoration, and it'll be an attractive looking item to put on my wall, along with something very unusual. I've looked and looked, and I haven't found any. Just can find no record of this tool anywhere. So I'm sure there is a record of some type, but I got the only one I found so far. Thanks for watching my video.